only the people who will have seen it tonight will have seen that and hopefully not spam you.
Fantastic. All right, so I've got my microphone on the blue ball, and then I changed my speakers to my headset.
He said blue ball.
I think that's it. Because the snowball was a voice meter before.
Yeah, and then that should be it.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking on the Audacity side, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That should be it.
It was all set. I did that too, so I think hopefully I'm good.
Cool. Yeah, we should be good to go, I think. And on that note, fellas, you guys want to sync up and then we can get rolling?
Let's syncopate.
All right, Miss... What the...
What?
Nothing happened at all.
I find it ironic that Steve is the one eating Mexican food right now.
How did you know I was eating Mexican food?
I can see you picking up the burrito. It's
4K.
in the frame. You're chewing.
We're recording a podcast.
I am always eating.
All right, fellas, what do you say we? What do you guys say we sync up? Or is everybody recording?
Where's
We have to.
the chat?
Pop that chat out.
Sorry,
What up, Rose of
found
Death? Rose of Death is here.
Welcome, sir.
All right.
You're in for a treat.
In 3, 2, 1. All right. Minus, where you at?
151.
All right. Steve?
718.
I was just going to say, you didn't pop it in the chat for me.
Well, because I was trying to pop out the damn chat. I don't know how this works.
Justin, where you at?
1140.
All right. And Lucas.
11:20.
If I hit stop video, does that just stop my video, or does that stop everybody's video?
Your
Yes.
video.
Okay.
Thank you, Justin.
Always here to help.
Went Steve.
All right, I popped out my Zoom chat as well in case anybody needs to say anything. All right, so we know what all the topics everybody's going to cover. Why don't you guys write your names next to a Patreon of your choice, and then we'll get rolling.
Okie dokie.
Let me just make one trip back to Patreon just to make sure that there's no new questions in there.
Minus, I got your question.
In troll this week, so you should be happy.
Yeah, we have 3 questions this week.
It was a very thoughtful question I put out, so.
Doesn't look like there's any new questions, so we should be good to go. All right, Steve, do you want us to hold up for you, or are you just gonna, be a little
Go ahead.
black box?
I'm almost done eating.
He's like, oh, I'm almost done.
If I choke on air,
Hear what I think about that decision by Infendo.
Ay. All right, guys. I'm going to get us rolling here. Let me just make a note in my Audacity. All right, let's start. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Infendo Radio. This is episode number 440. It is the 2nd of May. Lucas is doing some things. And he's really trying to distract me here tonight, but I'm not going to let him, guys. I'm not going to let him, because we have Minus here with us. How are you doing?
I'm here, I'm tired, and I'm full. So I just had dinner, so no complaints.
Very nice. Lucas, why don't you tell us what you're all about?
I don't even know anymore. I'm apparently now the master of time but not space, according to my name tag in Zoom. I don't know if anybody will ever see that, but that's the thing. Life is good. Can't complain. I get to hang out with Minus and some other guys, so that's cool.
fair, very fair. Justin, how are you doing this evening? You're our Nintendo's host, so that's been going to be exciting for me because I'm going to win.
Well, now that you've just completely steamrolled over my funny intro, yes, I'm doing fine.
I'll be the judge of whether it's funny or not. Steve,
Well, there
how
you
are
go, 'cause
you?
I didn't say it.
Steve, how are you doing tonight? You finished with that burrito? Oh God, what is Steve the master of? I'm really nervous.
I'm really
now.
hoping it's Master of Space, but not time.
Precisely, it is.
Yes!
That is precisely what I'd be the master of.
Oh, how do we change this? Hang on.
You don't.
So Zoom is working out well for us. That's what
I like it.
Oh, very nice. Well, we do
They
have
are not sponsoring us, but if they want to, they can.
Yeah, please, that'd be great, actually. We don't have to pay your damn monthly fee. Yeah, we have a action-packed show for you this evening. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to, hit that like button down there and subscribe to us as well. We'd really appreciate that. But yeah, let's get rolling with the show. We have some news for you, and Lucas is going to take us away.
we have data mine news, which is really cool because data mining is the thing that determines how we find out what stuff is coming in games, because people are impatient and they can't just sit around and wait for announcements. They have to break into the game and find all the little code and figure stuff out ahead of time.
Before you get started, Lucas, can I just point out how excited you were to do this when you are the king of I don't want any spoilers?
Yeah, but data mining isn't really spoilers. It's just extra DLC. Anyway, we've got also enjoy Infinity War, Justin. We have
I swear to
two
God, if you spoil it, I will
games.
kill you on air.
We have two games that
Nintendo
have
folks.
been data mined. The first one, I broke you to you. The first one, Mario Odyssey. And surprise, surprise, we're getting more costumes. Still no word anywhere of any actual new gameplay or anything, but hey, you can dress Mario in new costumes. We already officially had one of the Brutals. I don't know their names. They're rabbit monsters. We had one of them, the green one, come out as an official costume. The other three are on the way. In addition to that, we also have a Santa Claus Mario, a race car Mario. We have an opera conductor Mario, kind of looks like Beethoven, and a zombie Mario with a little axe sticking out of his head. So that's cool. That's a thing that's coming eventually, probably, if you believe the data miners. The other probably more interesting data mine that we got is a slew of Kirby characters that are supposedly coming out for Kirby Star Allies. We had a lot of them originally. We have a lot more of them now. Unfortunately, I cannot read this at all. So there we go. I found it. I found what I was looking for, and Eugene's great at editing, so it's not a big deal. We have Adeline coming out from Kirby 64. We have Daroche and Dark Meta Knight. Daroche is the little rat dude from Kirby Squeak Squad. Dark Meta Knight was from one of those games. I don't know. I stopped playing Kirby in high school before I picked it up again in college. But that's a character. And then in Wave 3, we supposedly have Magalore, who was from Return to Dreamland, if I remember right. Taranza, who I think was from Triple Deluxe. Susie, who was the female character from Planet Robobo. And the Gembastion Mages, who are actually the villains in this game. So we've got a lot of villains coming out, and that's really cool. And I'm most excited for Adeline, because I loved Kirby 64, and how I can make the entire roster as a character set. And data miners are amazing, because they tell us what to get excited for months in advance. So that's a thing. Thoughts?
Yeah, I just got completely sidetracked by the chat.
Yeah, me too.
I was reading
Good podcast.
No,
something about Kirby, and I don't.
I literally, all those names that you were saying, you could have been just making all of them up, testing us, and I wouldn't have known. They literally all said, but okay, so here's my take. Here's my hot take on this. I haven't gotten Kirby yet, but I'm probably gonna wait until all this fun stuff comes out, right? So then I can just have all everything in one go on my first go around. So I'll probably end up waiting until that comes out before I pick it up, personally.
Okay.
Yes.
So what, Steve?
I'm broke.
I know for me, I have Kirby. I'm only in the second world of it actually, and I only play it when I've got a group of 4 people with me. So it's taking me a lot of time to get through it. I'm enjoying it. It's a lot more fun, I feel, when I have the group of friends. So to have more characters that people can choose from, I think is only great.
Are the Dream Allies only available in the single player, or are they available in some of the other modes too?
Getting into mild spoiler territory here, but for those of you who don't care, they are available in single player, and they are also available in both the boss rush mode and the helper to hero mode, which is basically just you play as them throughout the entire game.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so I'll probably see a lot of use out of them then, especially like the 3 sisters, because there's rumors that they're going to be like you switch between them at will type thing.
I'm assuming that that's what we're going to get, kind of like how we got Rick, Kine, and whatever.
Rick, Kine, and Ku.
Rick, Kine, and Ku. I never played Kirby 3, so I don't know those
Neither
guys.
did I. Just
but they're adorable,
Kirby 2.
and that freaking like HD hamster is so cute. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, no, I mean, like, obviously I'm excited for it. Like, some of my favorite characters are Kirby characters. So, yay!
I still don't have the game, so it does not affect me whatsoever. So that's my opinion.
I would ask how you all feel about the Mario Odyssey stuff, but they're costumes for a game that we've all like 100%ed by now. Like,
I'm still, I mean, the 8-bit Mario looks like it'll be pretty amusing to play as. I keep holding out hope that they will release a red overall, brown shirt Mario. You know, like the original.
Oh yeah,
Cat walking behind my head. Like, you know, the original Super Mario Brothers sprite, but you know, who knows about that? Clearly, they're still supporting the game, so that's kind of cool. I just would be nice if we could get some new kingdoms as opposed to new costumes. Like, give us a reason to play it other than unlock more things that we will no longer use because we're no longer playing it.
Sure.
yeah, I'm kind of waiting for DLC that's actual like I would pay for levels and stuff. Like, I would pay for new worlds to explore. I would pay just to play as like Luigi or Peach or Wario or something. Like, I would pay for any of that. It doesn't have to
No.
be great.
Waluigi or no one.
Just give me something, you know? Like, the costumes are great, the balloon hunting is great, but like, give me something of substance that I can actually do something with.
Well, as we learned with Breath of the Wild DLC, don't hold out too much hope for meaningful DLC. But
yeah, but I mean, even Breath of the Wild's DLC was like more of the same, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would take more of the same. I would take like the same world, but like different somehow or something. Like, just give me anything. Give me something to do in this game because it's a great game and I want to keep playing it.
right, yeah, that's my take on it. Is, you know, make it worthwhile. Anyway, we went over the buzzer, so
Sure. All right. Yeah, good call there, Justin. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic here. I believe you were going to take this one, correct, Steve?
yeah.
Awesome.
So
Why
I'm
don't you hit
gonna
us
get
up
my
with,
iPad. So I can
probably
attempt
the
to
news
read
of the
this.
week. I would actually think you know, this is kind of big.
Yeah, so we got some interesting news. Tatsumi Kimishima is going to step down as Nintendo's president after 3 years of doing it, which kind of makes sense because I seem to remember he was only a temporary appointment until they found somebody else.
Yep.
oh shit.
He's actually going to be replaced by Shuntaro Furukawa. There we go. That's as good as I get.
You nailed it the first time you tried it, and
Well,
Yep.
I'm sure-
And
now
then
that we're
I
live,
pictured it.
I'm sure we'll be Americanizing that at some point, and we'll all just be like, "Oh, you know, Furukawa," and we'll just get used to it, like we did Iwata. And, you know.
Yeah. Well, and it looks like he's been doing a lot of stuff. He joined. Whoa, Justin, you're moving my article.
yeah, I'm sorry, I got caught up in things. I'm done texting.
He joined Nintendo back in 1994 and has been outside director of the Pokemon Company since 2012. And he's assumed the roles of managing executive officer, supervisor of corporate analysis and administration division, and director of Nintendo since 2016. So again, the big thing to note there, then the reason I wanted to read that is because he's been with the company for a while. Been with some of the more successful divisions since Pokemon is one of the more successful divisions. So it'll be interesting to see what he brings to the table.
For sure.
Yeah, and I actually heard something really interesting on this one. I think it was an Arlo video where he said that he's been a Nintendo fan his whole life. His first system was the Famicom, and of course, like you said, he's been working with Nintendo for a long time. And he said he is going to, and of course I'm paraphrasing here, he's going to work hard to maintain the level of quality with Nintendo, but he's not going to let the company rest on its laurels. He's gonna, like he says, he's really good friends with Miyamoto, but he'll tell Miyamoto when Miyamoto's out of line, which is something I think Nintendo really needs right now. Like, we're starting to see some great new fresh ideas out of Nintendo, but then there's still, and we all love Miyamoto, but let's face it, he has kind of a very samey way of working that, and he tends to be very stubborn about, doing something new or not doing something new. Like F-Zero. We haven't gotten a new F-Zero game because, well, we haven't thought of a new gimmick to put in it. Well, maybe Furukawa will be the guy who says, hey, Miyamoto, people want F-Zero. They will buy F-Zero. Stop worrying about a gimmick and just make an F-Zero, So that kind of has me excited that he's not afraid to shake the tree a little bit if it will, get a coconut to fall out. I don't know. The analogy just kind of...
Apples fall out of trees.
Maybe your trees.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
No,
I've got a coconut orchard going in my backyard. So
I don't reserve judgment on the guy until he actually starts doing stuff. I mean, talk is talk, but let's see where he takes the company in the next year, and then we can decide whether we like him or not. Because I'm always hesitant when they bring a new person in. I mean,
I think
the president cloud over the company, so
I think it's going to take a little more time though than just a year to see what he's capable of. I think we're just fairly
we'll get an idea
from Kimishima.
We'll get an idea.
The first year with Kimishima was pretty telling. So
that's a good point.
Yep. I think, kind of like what you've already alluded to, Steve. I hope that this is the guy for the job just because, he's already been there, done that with, Pokemon, overseeing that kind of stuff. And obviously Pokemon's done rather well, so hopefully he'll take what he learned there with Pokemon Company and bring it to Nintendo as a whole. But I don't know. Yeah, it just remains to be seen. Honestly, I'm pretty bummed out that Kimishima isn't going to stay on for the long haul, though, because, these are good times. We're riding a nice wave here with Nintendo. And not only just because, of the Switch is, a really fun console to play, but, on the business side of things, it seems like Kimishima has it together, the marketing seems to be on point for the Switch this go around. Everything seems to be working, and he obviously has a huge role to play in that.
Yeah, but I think it's good that he's willing to say, this company would be better off in younger hands. I think he did say that he will, be an advisor. He's not completely stepping down. He will still be an advisor to Furukawa, but I agree. I think we were all a little hesitant when he came on, but he turned out to be a great president of the company.
For sure, yeah. In his short span, not to take anything away from Iwata, but I just don't feel like the direction that the marketing and advertising, all that kind of stuff, that really matters at the end of the day. It's just gone in a completely different direction with Kimishima, and I think for the better. So, all right. Well, obviously that's our timer. So let's move on to our next news article and our final news article. Justin, why don't you take us away?
Yes. As we know, Mitomo is going to be shutting down. Well, if you're listening to the downloaded podcast, it has already shut down. Sorry, you've lost everything. If you're listening to us alive, you got a couple more days. I think it was the 4th, maybe it's the 6th. I can't remember. Sometime this week, Mitomo is shutting down permanently. You won't even be able to access the app. And the worst part about that for me was the inability to access MePhoto. And I've been hoping for, all this time that, we would be able to access the Miis and edit them and, maybe use them in pictures and stuff like that in a separate app. Well, we haven't quite gotten that yet, but it seems promising. Nintendo announced that if your Nintendo account is linked to Mitomo, after Mitomo shuts down, you will be able to, after a few weeks of, transferring all the data and whatnot, you will be able to edit and create Miis in a web-based application. And I believe it doesn't say in here, but I believe you should, assuming that it's, in a web browser, you should be able to actually download the image that you create.
Yeah.
Hopefully as a transparent, GIF or PNG. But so there may be a hope for MePhoto, kind of an ad hoc MeFomo yet. MeFomo. MePhoto. Yeah, so I mean, just the ability to still be able to access and edit those Miis is promising for me, but I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Is this something that you're still gonna? I mean, hooray! They're still supporting Miis, because I think we thought they were all gonna go away after Mitomo was gone.
Here's what I see happening: Mitomo's gonna go. You're gonna be able to do the Mii editing via a web browser, and then they'll strip it from the Switch firmware since it's already like way the hell down there in the menus. So I'm kind of thinking they may just push it to a browser thing anyway, and just have it be its own little side project.
I mean, as long as it's still a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like the Miis, and especially with Microsoft still using their avatars to a significantly reduced degree. I think, that's what really gave Nintendo their character for the past decade. Your character. I mean, my Mii has been used for my, what do you call it? My profile picture for many accounts. And, I know I had fun. I know Lucas had a lot of fun using MePhoto for creating, like backdrops and putting all of the Infendo crew into funny situations and stuff like that. So
I hope that it's as easy to do that on the web version. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on your toes there, Lucas.
No, that's good. I have Justin's love of Miis and Steve's belief that they're on their way out. Because I really like the Miis. Obviously, being somebody who adopted like the Wii way back in the day, like I've had a Mii for a long time, and they have gotten less and less used to the point where now you really don't even see them much on Mario Kart anymore. I do think that, Justin, you said that the Miis have kind of defined Nintendo for the past 10 years, and that's very true. And I think that's part of the reason why Nintendo is looking to ditch them, honestly. Because we've kind of gotten out of the Wii phase of Nintendo, And I hate saying that because, like, Miis are cool, Miis are neat. But
my Mii is still my avatar on many things, including my work account.
Yeah, including our old Google Hangouts that we used to use and everything. Our Miis are definitely a part of our identity, especially as, like, longtime Nintendo fanboys and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But obviously, gaming avatars have kind of dipped in recent years, I think another part of that being evident is that now you don't even have to have your Mii as your icon. You can have like Star Fox or Metroid or whatever you want as like your logo when you're playing a game online. So I could see them starting to phase it out, honestly.
Yeah, but I don't use any of those characters. I like using my me.
So do I.
I especially like that every time I change my hair or facial hair, I can change it on my me.
Yeah, I get that, but a lot of people are using those now. I switched over to it a while back just because I got bored of looking at my me all the time. And like, I don't know. I think we're getting there. I think that was something that was around in like the PS2, PS3 era, and we've kind of outgrown it as a culture, for better or worse, really.
You guys are gonna make me cry, man.
Is that what you sound like when you cry, Eugene?
Apparently, we're changing the countdown sound every topic tonight.
I decided that on the fly. Yes.
Well, I think that helped boost our mood at a crucial moment.
Okay, well, that is the end of the news topic. That's the end of the news, and we're going to take a little break here. Justin's going to serenade us with sound here shortly as he hosts Nintendo Tunes. We'll be right back.
All right, let me make sure I've got all of my music ready to go.
So, Eugene, remember what we were talking about with Twitter the other day?
Apparently not.
Hold on, I just by habit, I always mute myself on voice meter when I type, so I was muted.
Okay. I marked the moment where you cried, and I think I'm going to be cutting that.
I will be right back. I'm going to go, take a leak before we start.
Perfect. I think that's a good idea, though, Lucas, and then you can, kind of make that, the highlight or whatever,
Yeah, I'll chop some up and send them your way if you want to,
Yeah, that'd be rad.
Control that avenue.
Remix.
Not doing it. Way too much work for so little output. So much work.
But it was fun for us.
It was fun for us. Maybe someday, but
I fucked up. I'm not wearing my Infendo shirt.
You monster! The only one of us who is the listener.
Heather just got hers too, and she really likes it.
I'll just hold this in front of the screen all day, and we can all just look at it.
That's exactly the one I got, and I love it. Hi, Phantom.
Yeah, I know. It's like Pokemon Red. I love the colors.
Hi, Phantom.
He's a phantom.
He's in his ghost form.
Phantom, I can't see you or hear what anybody's saying because I'm changing clothes and I turned off my camera. But
that was scandalous.
I thought are we all doing it? All right, I'm getting naked too.
Everyone except Minus.
We're all putting on our clothes.
Wait, what did I do?
You're not. You just leave your camera on. We want to focus on you.
I need an adult. No.
Welcome back to the Infendo crew. Takes off their shirts.
I'm putting mine back on. This is a bad idea.
My hair is doing something.
I did not do what I wanted to do.
Oh God! Now we're all in different places. Now Minus is at the top and Eugene at the bottom.
Minus, turn off your camera so you can be at the bottom.
I hid my camera. I don't know how to bring it back.
No, you're visible, dude.
I am?
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay. Wait, you can see?
You have a Luma on your couch.
I do have a Luma on my couch.
Oh, that's awesome!
I have a Kirby in my hands.
I don't want to know what Justin has in his hands.
Yeah. How do I bring my
given his title?
We actually don't know.
Awesome.
Eugene, he hid himself. Do you know how to unhide himself?
Oh, Minus. Oh, did you double click? I bet you I know what you did. You probably double clicked on the thing, and then there's probably a small window of everybody somewhere on your screen.
I know this. I think if you right click and you click unhide myself, you'll be okay.
Where is that? If
I right click on your own face.
I don't have a face anymore.
Okay, well right click on you're talking that.
So I've got the 5 of you on the top, and then who's talking is the big one.
Okay, go up to the top right, and you see the 9 little squares. Click those.
It says gallery view.
Click those.
Okay, now I still have 5 smaller images.
Well, you're just screwed. You've ruined the night.
All right, guys, I'm out.
You're terrible.
Enjoy my Nintendo.
It's gonna take
Crystal Palace. Peace out.
It's gonna take like twice as much Patreon money to make this up to us.
I like how you always bring it back to the fundage.
And somebody has to.
Okay. So now we have a 6 number, and everything's all out of. Everything's all.
Oh, my friend, what you've missed.
Yeah, I don't know what I walked into.
How is everything messed up? I've got 2 columns.
Because I had closed
boxes.
Hey guys, remember when we were doing a live show on the air about podcasting and Nintendo?
Hey, remember when Steve asked me a question, and as I tried to answer it, Steve continued talking?
Hey, remember when everybody shut up and we went back to doing a podcast live on the air?
Okay, anyway, to very quickly...
God, now it's on.
Oh, God!
To very quickly answer Steve's question, I had closed my window so that I had 4 boxes. Now it's all out of whack.
I have 2.
There's no saving this now.
Phantom,
you have
Hello,
ruined
everybody, and welcome back to Infendo Radio.
No, I bring us back
213. This is Lewis, your host.
Except for your video setting.
All right. Well, we've got everybody with us. Justin, do you need to test your settings at all?
I might need to do a volume test on you guys just to make sure I'm not blowing your eardrums out.
The most important thing is I'm not hidden anymore. I figured it out.
Good.
We can move on with the show now.
I was really biting my nails about that one.
I appreciate that.
All right. Here we go.
Crystal Palace.
How's the audio here?
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Okay, but this is not. Just tell me if it's too loud or too quiet.
I think it's perfect.
64.
My God, Lucas, you were the one bitching that we were taking too long, and now you're dragging it out. Quiet.
Somebody cut this part out and tweet it.
I'm on it.
Hey, Jesus Christ, answer the question.
It's
good.
Everything's great.
Okay.
Hey, it's not. You're lying.
Hey, Eugene, will you go scratch your balls?
God. Lord Almighty. Justin, take us into the show. Please, do it.
All right. Let me switch back to my other folder. I gotta close the window because I can't look at you guys. All right, welcome back to Nintendoons. If you are listening to the podcast, you have missed a hell of a 5 minutes of shenanigans. So, good reason to listen to us live. If you are listening to us live, I am sorry. But we are back. And we are about to play Nintendoons. If this is your first time with us, let me explain. I, the host, am going to play music from various games appearing on various Nintendo systems. Some of them suggested by our Patreon members, which you can do at the $2 level. Anywho, brain fart, shut off, gone, derpiter. Anywho, yes, if you are a $2 patron, you can suggest a game for us to play in Nintendoons. The rest of them are chosen by me for possibly the first time in Nintendoons history. I have a theme. The theme is, and by the way, the patrons were not in on this theme. This is just me. The theme is Too Hot for US. Basically what that means is all the games that I am going to play were not released in the United States, at least in their initial release or their original form. There may be one or two that were released later or, modified. But so that's my theme. Let me see here. Who has more rounds, me or them? Well, screw it. While I figure that out, I'm just going to play one from Patreon.
Yay! We get to play the game.
All right.
I am going to beat you, Lucas.
You will never beat me.
Steve's oddly silent. Is he still with us?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Sounds excited about that fact. All right. Let me just make
the country I live in. I'm gonna do well tonight.
But he's playing games in the country my mind lives in, so I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Quit playing games with my heart.
You're supposed to sing it.
All right, just setting my my
For
audio
the
settings.
love of God, play a song.
Set a timer for 15 minutes. All right. And this one comes to us from Malik Emrys, also known as Rose of Death. There are only 2 tracks here, so if you don't get it from them, you're screwed. And I'm gonna look up some information on this while you're guessing.
I'm guessing there's only 2 tracks because this game is really old.
It is not really old. Since I only have 2 tracks, I may as well give you your first hint. This is a Switch game.
Dino Buddy, the dinosaur game.
Is this Snake Pass?
No and no.
Is it a Switch exclusive game?
I am working on that.
So it's not Ukulele.
No, it's not. I have that soundtrack.
Yeah, this definitely does not sound like Grant Kirkhope.
Oh yeah, but when he guessed Snake Pass, nobody batted an eye.
Because I had forgotten that Grant Kirkhope had done that.
That's because none of us have played Snake Pass.
That was David Wise.
Well, there you go. Anyway, no. And to whatever you're going to ask next, no.
It's like Gorilla Grodd meets Superman.
All right. You guys have it. Can we ask me a question?
What's it called?
What genre is it?
It is classified on the eShop as puzzle board game action.
Does the main character wear gloves?
Do you wear a hat? I honestly have no freaking clue, and I'm not gonna bother to find out. Actually, I will. No to the first, and yes to the second.
You wear a hat. He wears a hat. He wears a motherfucking
pirate?
hat.
Is it the Pirates game?
It is not a Pirates game.
How about the next track?
In multiplayer?
Is it Astro Bear Party?
No. Hang on. No, this is single player only. It's a little odd for a puzzle game, but
This sounds like a great game.
that was interesting.
Raise the roof, Lucas.
Did we get publisher or developer?
I can give you both. I don't think it'll help. The developer is Score Studios. The publisher is Rainy Frog.
Oh yeah, Rainy Frog.
Those guys.
I mean, it's such
Those
great
guys who
titles.
made Game. And
Is this
second.
Is this game multi-platform or is it Switch exclusive? Did we get that yet?
That I have not been able to find yet. So I don't really have a whole lot else to give you. It appears to be a Switch and Apple App Store exclusive.
Okay, so it's an
Switch and mobile.
So it came from iOS. So it's probably touch based. Is it that fuck. God damn it, what is that name of the game? It was touch only. It came out in Japan first. I got nothing.
Is it I Give Up, the game?
Yeah.
What if it was?
That, with the way games are trying to be super hard, that could actually be a thing nowadays.
Is this that Lost Phone game or whatever it is?
Oh, no. I don't know what that is, but no.
I know what you're talking about, Steve.
Yeah.
I give up.
All right, everybody give up?
Yes.
All right, the game is called, hang on, I forgot. Pixel Minds DX. That's Pixel spelled P-I-C.
Oh, that's the one with the weird little girl on the cover.
Wearing a
She's got
controller on her.
Yeah.
All right, so no points given for that one. And we will go into one of mine. Which one? I could make you guys choose.
The third one.
The fifth one.
Number 8.
Compromise, the 15th.
37.
Oh my God. Okay. We'll go with.
This is what happens.
We'll go with this one here.
You give us options.
That'll teach you to give us choices.
No, it actually helped.
Wind Waker.
Outside my window.
Endless Ocean.
Oceanhorn.
Oceanhorn.
No, what is Oceanhorn?
It's the Wind Waker wannabe.
Oh, okay.
The overpriced Wind Waker.
Is this Electroplankton? Electroplankton?
No. All right, hang on. Maybe something with more music. There we go.
Or any music. There we go. It's not Start. Nah, it's not Stardew Valley.
Is this
no.
Mulaka?
I did Hua.
I guess not.
No, it is not. What?
Peach the game?
What did you just call me?
Peach. It's a peach.
This one's mine, by the way, so fits into my.
Oh, to Japan.
Oh yeah. Your weird thing.
Is this Captain Rainbow?
Oh! Fuck! I was gonna say that.
It is not Captain.
Not gonna be, but I'm glad I pissed you off.
Tingle's Rupee Rosie Land.
Oh, these are gonna be games none of us know.
Is there music in this track?
Did we get console or genre or anything like that?
Console. Well, it was originally released on the N64.
Is this Dokkan the Giant?
Just like
It is Doshin the Giant. Second clue was going to be it was ported to the GameCube, but it's Doshin the Giant. Point 1 for Eugene.
that bird sounded just like Chatot.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
He's a Pokemon.
You're a Pokemon.
Jeez, Justin.
Jeez.
Poke your mom. All right.
God.
Let's see. Let's go with another Patreon request. This one comes from Phantom. So, Phantom, you are ineligible to guess.
RPGs.
Also, Phantom's not playing, so.
Oh, okay.
Lucas,
Can call.
can you add Poke Your Mom to the soundboard?
No.
Oh, I was gonna create a soundboard. All right.
Actually, yeah, I can.
This is. I have a feeling this one
Minus,
might
I
go
think you might
fast,
have.
but here we go. I'm gonna try to keep a poker face here.
Oh. I have definitely played this game.
Let it wash over you, Eugene.
For the first time tonight, I recognize the song.
For the first time in forever, Eugene recognizes the song.
Why do I know this?
I don't fucking know.
Sounds
but
like Rhythm Heaven.
It's not rhythm.
I want this to be like Xenoblade 2 or something.
is not Xenoblade 2.
I'd be pissed if you're just like,
This is Doom.
The only thing I can think of is Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but that obviously came out in America.
And point to Steve.
Oh,
Yeah,
God!
Steve, this is a Phantom track. It didn't have to
I'm
come
so
out.
glad I
Oh,
said
damn it!
Thank you,
I was
Phantom.
ready to play the second track, but
Does Steve have the only point? Oh, no, wait. Eugene got
no, you
Ghost
got
in
the
the Giant.
last one.
I'm pretty mad about that.
I'm coming for you. It's not gonna happen.
All right.
I'm not going to get a single point tonight. I'm calling it.
Me, buddy.
That would be pretty sweet if that was the case.
Minus. Profist.
All right.
Wait,
Oh,
you guys
we're on
are over
different
here.
areas.
That doesn't work.
No. You guys are
Yay!
like,
That worked for me.
We all have different windows.
All right.
it's the
The
Brady
next
Bunch
one
again.
is going to be mine.
Infendo.
And as soon as there we go.
Here's the
Let's
story.
go with
Start.
one. Yeah.
Oh.
how about-
No, eyes.
I guess I should continue the song then.
Oh!
It's Wario Land.
It's
it
Wario.
is not Wario.
No, it's not. God damn it.
Is this Pokemon the card game?
I'm gonna give it to you. It's Pokemon Trading Card Game 2, which was never released in America, but this.
That sounded just like Wario Land. Holy shit.
It also
It
sounds
really
just
did.
like Origins.
Thought I had one there.
Wow, that one went fast and to the wrong person. All right.
I love Pokemon Trading Card Game. I'm pretty sure that exact track was used in the first one.
Well, that's disappointing because I was hoping that none of the tracks except maybe the title music would be used from the second one from the first one to the second one, but I was wrong, clearly. All right, so we're going to do another Patreon suggestion. This one comes from Corrupted. And boom.
Shakalaka.
Nice.
Corrupted. I don't know that I've gotten inside his head yet. I'm not sure what he's all about.
I'm not sure you want to listen to this music.
This almost sounds like... No, it's definitely not that.
Throw it out there, Eugene. It worked for Steve.
Yeah, that's the only way I'm getting a point tonight.
Well, I was going to say, like, you know the teaser intro for Twilight Princess? Like how it starts off slow and then...
No, it is not that, but...
Yeah. I know it's not, but, like, that's kind of where it came to.
Is this Thumper?
No, it is not Thumper. Does kind of sound like Thumper, though, now that you
It
mentioned it.
does.
I'm going to have to do a little bit of research on this. I'm aware of the game, but not what it is.
Rhyme is coming to mind for some reason.
Is it a Switch game?
It is no. This is a Wii U game. Also appeared on PS4, Xbox One, and Windows.
Is it like a Injustice or something?
No.
There's not that many games that appeared on Wii U and PS4, but not on
Correct.
Xbox One. What the fuck?
I did
not
say
Xbox
Xbox.
One.
Yes.
Oh, you did say Xbox. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
It was originally this might be the biggest clue ever. It was originally released on the Wii U and was later ported to other systems. Who's just said that?
Me.
I don't have the video up, so you and Steve sound very similar.
Did I just get a point?
You did just get a point.
Holy shit.
Lucas, now's the time for your fucking sound thing.
My what?
Bound fig? What?
Your little button. Minus got a point. Give him his little button.
I can't believe I got one.
I thought it made noise. I guess I'm
Right. Good job being right there on top of the button.
There it is.
All right.
That was easy.
That was
easy.
that was painful is what that was. All right. So just a recap on the score while I'm resetting my audio. Eugene is currently in the lead with 2. Steve has 1 and Minus has 1. Lucas didn't get the one that I gift wrapped for him. So
Which one did you gift wrap?
I was
the
gonna say,
Pokemon game.
I don't think
I've
he
never
the
played
card game.
I never even played the first card game.
Okay,
Yeah, I
well, you've
remember
played
you saying
every
that.
other Pokemon game in existence.
Yeah, but we've
So
had
let's
this
listen to that.
conversation like 5 times.
I didn't listen to you.
Yeah,
Clearly.
Well, okay, let me rephrase that. I don't listen to you when you start talking about Pokemon. Anyway, on to round, what the hell are we on? 5? All right.
Should.
You should.
Actually, I was going to go
Might
with
learn
that,
something.
but I'll save that for later. So,
Eugene even
let's
listens to Pokemon Talk once in a while.
let's do this one.
Oh, I know this. Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land.
There it is.
Damn
Lucas
it.
with his-
The game I have played.
Jeez.
And you thought you were
My selections are bombing out tonight.
Wait,
Normally I keep you guys stumped for a good long time.
Very nice.
All right, so go away, Willow. So no, that's not away. That is walking on me. Go away. All right, so on to another Patreon suggestion. This one comes from Corky Dog. And how about this one? I missed the button. How about this one?
Oh, why do I know
Xenoblade
this?
Chronicles X?
Not that this is any clue for anybody, but this is one of my bucket list games.
So not Xenoblade.
I guess not.
No, it is not Xenoblade.
I got nothing. Is this a Wii or a Switch game?
No, this one goes back to the GameCube.
This music sounds so serious that it actually sounds really silly.
Sounds like Bayonetta.
No, this does not sound like Bayonetta. This sounds like if Bayonetta was like a dramatic, like.
How about another
Japanese-
track? Oh, is this maybe Beyond Good and Evil?
It is not. There seems to be a leitmotif going here.
Prince of Persia?
Yes.
Sands of
Which
Time, 1, 2,
There we
go.
Oh, awesome.
Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
It's a really good game. I actually never beat it, but I did play it. It's pretty tough.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play this game for years and years and years and have never gotten around to it. Maybe someday I will and write a retro review of it.
Is that the first one that got ported to GameCube
Yeah.
or whatever?
Mhm.
It was not what I thought it would be. Like,
Oh, no?
I was super disappointed.
Well, that
when I
was
finally-
that was the first Prince of Persia since like the first Prince of Persia. Like, weren't there like
Yeah.
a few on the NES and then nothing for a decade or two?
I think we may have waited too late to play that one because, like, I tried it a few years back and I was like, "Wow, this is incredibly boring." So,
Oh, yeah. It didn't age well, I'm sure. Yeah.
better luck to you, my friend.
I would play an HD remaster of that game, though.
I
Oh,
would
there
play
is
like
one.
I would play like a remake
Oh.
if like, They made it more like God of War-ish or something.
Speaking of HD remasters, slightly off topic, but the PSN was having a sale on Star Wars games since, May the 4th. And I managed to get the remaster of Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, so I can't wait to dive into that one again. All right, so here we go. This one's one of mine. And remember, the category is Too Hot for US. And to those of you listening at home, you get to enjoy the stereo mix of.
Is this It's NES, right?
Yes, this is NES.
Is it
not
Metal
Mario
Gear?
2 that have any unique?
It's not Metal Gear. What did you say, Lucas?
Mario 2 didn't have any unique music, right?
No, I don't think so.
Mario 2 did have some unique music, but that is not this.
I've got
That
nothing.
would have been the troll of the evening.
Right? Ooh.
Was that
I don't
recognition
like
or?
No, I just like it.
Sounded like Castlevania for a minute.
Sounds like Sonic.
How about
Sounds
genre?
like Game Sonic.
Do we have any questions? Want any clues?
How about genre?
Genre. It's kind of tough to nail down. Hang on a second. Let me see what Wikipedia has to say about it.
Triple Dragon.
Wikipedia.
Quadruple.
Wikipedia classifies this as action.
Perfect.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
And I don't know how to elaborate on that without being too specific. So,
Well, how about another track?
Androgen.
Is this a Nintendo published game?
Sort of. It was not published directly by Nintendo. It was published by a Nintendo affiliate, but not. I'm gonna say no.
Can we get
It's
who
hard
it
to
was
describe.
published by?
It what?
Can we get
I
who it
cannot-
was published by?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Pokemon Kingdom of the Crystal Palace. Good game.
I got nothing.
Solid side scroller.
Nah.
It is
Now
not.
can you tell
It
us
is-
who it was published?
It is top down. Like your mom.
God. Jesus.
Okay, what point in the show are we at?
I'll tell you what. I will give you developer and publisher, but that'll be your
Ghostbusters! Ghostbusters 2!
bitch. I forgot that was in this track. I was trying to avoid recognizable music.
And
Yes,
that's, and I know who it was published by. Hal.
it was. I was gonna play this because it's from the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack, but
Okay, so old people,
Yeah.
why would Hal be a giveaway that it was Ghostbusters 2?
it would be a giveaway to Eugene because I knew
It's like-
he knew of this game, but I also knew he hadn't played it.
I hear Hal and I think like Kirby Conquest of the Crystal Palace. Like,
Well, there's some
Kirby
music in
Kirby.
here that sounds very, very Kirby-esque because it was the same composer actually. But yeah, so yeah, for those of you who don't know, Activision held the publishing rights for Ghostbusters games in the U.S., so they got to make their own game, which sucked. In Japan and Europe, the game was made by HAL and was 1,000,000 times better. So if you can get your hands on New Ghostbusters 2 by HAL, that is the Ghostbusters game.
It's called New Ghostbusters 2. Interesting.
oh,
Yes.
Eugene, you
I don't know
forfeit your
why it's
point.
called New Ghostbusters 2 because it was the only Ghostbusters 2 in in Japan and Europe. But anyway,
it's the new Ghostbusters. It's a new crew. You got Melissa McCarthy. You got the other ladies of the bust, who I can't remember right now because I didn't see that movie.
It was good. Eugene, did you hear me give you a point for that one? How many have you gotten so far?
That would be my second, I think.
You already have 3 points. So
then I think that's what I should be at.
I think Eugene's at a big old nil.
Anybody in the chat keeping score here? How many has Eugene gotten?
I haven't got a chat open. I ain't cheating.
Me either. It's either 3 or 4.
Minus, get out of the chat.
Oh God.
We bring you on our show, and this is how you.
Actually, I paid to get on this show. Let's be real.
He's not wrong.
We let you pay to be on our show?
Oh, snap.
I don't know how far behind the YouTube feed is right now, so nobody's answering me. So we're just going to assume that Eugene's at 3 and move on to yes. All right. Tyrell War has said you have 3. So the next one comes from Jay-Z Beast. And oh dear God, there's a lot of music in this game. All right, let's try. This is a nice long one. Let's try this.
Is this
and again, let me know if it needs to be louder, quieter, whatever.
Is this one of your tracks?
This one comes from Jay-Z Beast.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
He was kind.
Anything.
He was
but
kind.
Going to be
that's your first clue. Is he was not incredibly trolly. wait.
Kind of trolly.
Crazy Taxi.
Yes, this sounds exactly like The Offspring.
Trolls the movie.
What the hell is The Offspring?
They're
Trolls the video game.
Oh my God. Who let the baby on the show?
How much longer till the old man dies off?
All right, let's get a different track here. All right. That's interesting. Anybody have questions, comments, expressions of anxiety?
What system was this game on?
Wii.
Why does it sound 8? Was
Are we
this
French?
Because it's an indie game, and indie developers love to make their stuff 8-bit, so people will buy it.
It's not like Super Meat Boy. No, it's not Super Meat Boy.
I thought you said Super Nate Boy for a
This
second.
isn't like.
What's that?
Was it only on Wii or was it on other Nintendo systems?
It was only on Wii.
There goes Shovel Knight.
Mm.
When was Shovel Knight on
Wii? Cave Story?
Nope. No. I feel like we need another track because we're getting hung up on this 8-bit music.
No More Heroes. No More Heroes 2.
There it is.
Oh, you were playing the minigame music. Son
All
of
of a sudden,
bitch.
I was like, what, non-indie games have 8-bit on the Wii?
That was a good fucking troll.
I never played the game, and the soundtrack had like 80 tracks. So
I've also never played the game.
That was a non-troll troll, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That was solid, you not trolling us to the point where we thought you were trolling us.
Depressed we are.
all right. Let me check my time here. Oh, all right. Let me reset my recording, or not recording, but my audio settings here. While I'm doing that, I will read off the score. No, I'm not using Apple Pay. Hang on. All right. So currently, Eugene is in the lead with 3. Lucas is runner-up with 2, and Steve and Minus are tied at 1.
We got our
And
point.
I am
That's all we're here
dragging out my speech because I am trying to find the window with
sing.
everybody's
Make it
face.
better for
for.
you.
Lucas left singing.
Yeah, I know. But
All
I don't
right.
really have anything in my. All I have in my head is "Spill the wine, dig that girl," and I
Go.
don't know how many of my.
Get off the son of a... I'm gonna kill that cat. I'm gonna kill that cat.
How about
All right.
I just keep doing this until Justin gets his music together?
I am all set. I just gotta reset my timer and
Thank you, Emily, for the gift that keeps on giving.
are you finished?
Yes.
Oh, definitely don't want to play that one. That would be a dead giveaway. All right, hang on a second.
Dead giveaway. Dead
All right, here we go.
giveaway.
This one's one of mine.
Is this Captain Rainbow?
No, it's not Captain Rainbow.
Ooh.
Wouldn't it be great if it was?
Shovel Knight. Shantae.
Shut shit.
I hate it all. I hate it all. Die in a fire.
That's a painful way to go.
Is it Bit Trip Runner?
No, it is not Big Trip Runner.
Is it Terranigma?
No.
Is it Nigma Kara?
Edward Nigma.
God.
Nah.
Shit.
Swear to God.
It's pretty.
I'm gonna start deleting points. All right, I'm gonna go to a different track here.
Is it like Fatal Frame? Like one of the Fatal Frames?
No, it is
Well,
not.
clearly not now. Now that we're in like Bossa Nova.
Chevy Nova?
Edward Nova?
God
For those
damn
of you who can't see us right now, Steve is actually dying.
I don't think I've ever seen Steve's expression change this much.
I've got nothing. I'm gonna need a hint here. Let's get a console.
All right, the console is Super NES.
I'm wearing glasses for this show. I don't need to see you bitches.
Super Nintendo. Is it Nintendo made?
No, it is not. Get off.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, shit.
Star Fox 2?
Dragon Quest 4?
No.
Dragon
Is this a
Quest
Fire
anything?
Emblem game?
No.
No.
Final Fantasy 2, The After Years.
Super Nintendo Wars?
Stay out of the chat,
I'm
Minus.
gonna kick myself.
Is this like...
Did you do it on camera?
That'd be impressive.
All
How do I not?
This does sound familiar.
It does, yeah.
I'm gonna swear if I can't get this. I'm like so loud, so get ready.
Can you do it in the direction of Phantom so we can add to his punch card?
Yeah, we haven't done that yet this episode.
Because this sounds familiar.
Oh! Is this a Final Fantasy game? Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, it's gotta be Japanese.
Pick one.
No! All of them.
Is it Final
one of
Fantasy
those?
5?
I'm giving this one to Minus.
Hey, what the fuck? I said that!
But
No,
why?
you said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am so not counting that. You know my rule.
Okay, I have a question though.
You didn't even give me a chance to answer any of them.
I thought these were games that didn't come out in the States.
Final Fantasy V did not originally come out in the United States.
Oh, okay, originally.
Okay, I explained this in the beginning.
Sorry, Eugene.
Some of them may have been re-released later, released on other systems, or released in other forms, but their initial release was not in the United States.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize we were playing with that particular brand of bullshit.
Well, because there aren't very many, to be honest, there aren't very many well-known games anymore that have
Hey,
never...
Lucas, mark
Yeah.
that time where you said we're not playing with this brand of bullshit.
Oh, you want to see my show notes? I have one section that literally says, I get annoying.
All right. So I will give Eugene if it comes down to a tie, Eugene has a point for that one.
Okay, Eugene has a phantom point.
But
if this costs me the
minus,
win, I'm first gonna come into Minus's room and come after him with that Master Sword. Then I'm driving to New York and coming after you, Justin.
Then can you come to my house and we can play video games?
Yeah, we'll just chill. We'll play like Boombox or
Minus
something.
will spread butter on your ass. For those of you listening at home, Minus was holding up looks like a letter opener sized Master Sword.
A butter knife. The vegans of knives.
You use 2 fingers to hold it.
There's a Bob joke in there somewhere, but I can't focus.
It's your job to keep us on track.
Oh God! All right, so we've got one more. We've got one more Patreon suggestion here, and Eugene you will be happy to know that Minus is exempt from it.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, cool.
Oh, Minus's tracks. I usually get Minus's tracks.
You will probably get this one too. This one seems right up your alley.
All right, it's got to be
This
NES.
is such a good game.
Oh fuck!
No.
Nope. Close, but no.
Little Nemo.
Take your first shot, bitches.
Wait. Give me another
Jesus
track.
Christ! Is this all there is?
Just repeating the same thing over.
All right.
Yes! Oh, is this California? No, it's not California Games.
That's better.
Oh my God, I know exactly what this is.
No, you don't, or you would have had that by now.
It is nothing that anybody has said yet so far.
Oh, it's Snake Rattle and Roll, Snake Rattle and Roll, Snake Rattle and Roll, Snake Rattle and Roll.
Snake Rattle and Roll, Justin?
It is Snake Rattle and Roll, Lucas.
Sorry, Itchy. You said it too many times.
Well, I guess I'll take a half a point. No fucking well.
But it doesn't matter because you won, Nintendo.
No, not yet. I still have a few more here.
Oh, damn.
I'm going to play at least one more round.
There, Lucas.
All right, guys. You get to pick from 1, 2, or
7.
3.
Number 13. I want number 13.
1,223.2.
3. I'm the only one who's picking an actual number.
For once, Lucas is the only one taking it seriously. I am playing number 3.
Except like 1.
So happy we went with this.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
It's like my soul in audio form.
Is this Captain Rainbow?
This is not Captain Rainbow.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Right?
It's like a gold.
Oh, is this like those fucking Elite Beat Agent games or Rhythm whatever?
You will never get the Japanese title for this. I'm giving you Elite Beat Agents. Is Osu Takae Oendan.
Osu Takae Oendan.
Okay, who knows the song? You know what? So many of these went by so quickly. I'm doing one more. All right.
Damn, Mr. Prime, that's what she said.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
Good times.
Those will go too quickly. All right, I'm gonna try and stump you guys on this. All right, and the last round. Not that it matters, because Eugene wiped the floor with you guys.
I got 2 points. That's amazing.
Captain Rainbow. Kim Possible, Trouble in Tokyo.
I would just like you guys to know that Captain Rainbow was actually one of the games I was going to play until everybody shouted every single round, and I decided not.
Teen Titans, Trouble in Tokyo.
Why do I know this little riff?
I don't know. Why do you know this little riff?
American Dragon, J. Clone, Trouble in Tokyo.
Lucas is no longer taking it seriously.
Drunk. What's he at?
Do we get a console?
Working on console is Super NES.
Hey, this is not the music of my soul. It's like Midas is gone.
How about another track? It's a little loud too.
Done by Rare?
No, it is not. Hang on, I'm trying to get. It's a little hard to get information on this game.
RPG?
It is not Rare. I'm trying to find out what kind of game it is, to be completely honest with you.
This sounds familiar, but I don't know from where.
Alright, Moby Games, I need your help.
Eugene gets a weird old game that nobody else knows.
Is this like a Breath of Fire game?
No, it is not.
Breath of the Wild.
Yes, exactly. Congratulations.
Breath of the Wildfire?
There it is.
How about another track too?
I just gave you another track. Genre, according to Lucky Luke, is action, but it also says first-person perspective. So
Who the fuck is Lucky Luke?
It's me.
What?
I'm Lucky Luke. Didn't
Who
you
said
know?
Lucky Luke?
Is it Lucky Luke?
It is Lucky Luke.
You gave it away.
Wait, what the fuck? You said it!
Yeah.
You said, according to Lucky Luke, it's a first person. Okay, that's the moment. That's the moment I'm recording.
Well, in a Nintendo first, a host.
Oh, I'm sure that is not a first.
Oh, that's a first, my friend.
That's great.
Who is Lucky Luke?
Yeah, I will claim that privilege, even though it doesn't matter, because that way I can say I came in second, even though Eugene said the words first.
Alright, on that note, since Lucky Luke has got himself into second place, we're gonna take a little break here and be right back
I think I need one.
We're gonna be right back with the question block.
Minus, in all honesty, it was an honor to tie with you in a round of Nintendo's, my friend. I would like now to shake your hand from my perspective.
This way?
Yep, that way. Do it a little more. Go
That
off
does not work.
right off the edge.
Okay,
There we go. Now move up and down. Up and down. There we go. This looks so good from my end.
Yeah, this is totally.
Pure black.
How is it working when you're both reaching on the same side?
I was gonna say, how does that? You guys are
Wait,
like,
what? Oh, because
you
our
are
video
mirrored.
must be our video must be mirrored.
oh god.
Yeah. For me, he's right here, and I'm pointing at him right now.
I'm all the way on the left on mine, so there's nothing past me. So I just went into like Bizarro World or something.
Okay,
Stick
so
your hand
just
into the minus
But then how
world.
cool would it have been if Minus's hand was
the minus
like
world.
the other side of the wall?
Okay. I don't know if we're still on break, but just wanted to recap for anyone who still cared. Eugene won Nintendo's with 5. Lucas and Minus tied with 2, and Steve got his 1 point.
I am.
And Phantom, who I thought was playing but apparently is not, has none. So
If Phantom's just in the Hunter's Hub. He's not in this one.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys got to clarify this to me. I can't remember who's at what level.
Okay. Hey, Justin, Phantom is in the Hunter's Hub.
I'm.
The only reason Minus is here now is because he couldn't make the last show, but he's like our bestest friend. So we were like, we love him. Here, Minus, have this chess set that apparently, Eugene, what's the guy's name?
Robert Gagnon.
Robert
wait.
Gagnon apparently doesn't want.
There's someone at the door. Hold on.
Oh God! Somebody's at the door.
Is this a
Watch
is
this.
this a skit?
Watch this. I know what's happening.
I love this so much. I'm gonna open it up and put it on my coffee table. It's gonna be great.
I'm glad we finally gave it away.
I don't.
I'm guessing that was the only reason Minus was on the show.
It was that gag. We played it out for a long ways, but it finally paid off right now.
that was worth $160.
All right, guys, we're gonna get the show rolling. We're gonna get back into the question block. Let's see. Do you guys have your names? Yes, you do. Does anybody want Quirky Dog? Otherwise, I'll take that one, I suppose.
Oh, I haven't looked at the questions. Hang on.
Congratulations, you've just won Quirky Dog's question.
What are you gonna do next?
Minus, would you like to read a question? You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'll toss it over to you.
Tough.
I
have. Yeah. I don't know. I'll take any of them.
Well, you and Minus fight it out if you guys
Dr.
want to.
Johnny 5 was actually the first one that caught my eye
I'm
looking at it earlier, but
otherwise I would have taken my own. But it seems like Lucas
Really wants
I can't Minus read his own question. Jeez, Lucas.
No, it's mine.
The
now.
man paid good money to sit here and read his own question to us.
And for
And
only
watch us-
$100 more a month, you can ask your own here at Infendo Radio.
Hold on, let me open up mine.
and then Minus, the only reason you picked a normal question this week in the first place was because you knew you would be here for us to rip on.
Yeah. There's a little truth in that.
I have a very important question to ask you guys.
Oh
Are
God.
we ever finishing this podcast?
But we'll get there. If a patron reads their own question,
Oh,
are they
God.
reading their own question, or are they merely asking us a question?
And do they have a hole in themselves, and how many?
If
How
a
many?
patron asks a question and no one is around to see or hear it,
Then
All right. Everybody shut your many holes. Everybody shut your many holes. We're getting started.
Yours.
How do you plug holes?
Oh, you said many, so obviously the answer is not one.
Oh, God.
Oh.
We are back. Question block is here, guys. It's time to read the questions from the patrons. No, but in all seriousness, thank you very much for all of our patrons for supplying questions for us this week. If you would like to provide a question for us to read on the show, you can too by going to patreon.com/Infendo Radio, just like Phantom did. Why don't you take us away, Steve?
just real quick, I know we're not supposed to talk about this stuff on air, but
But you're gonna do it anyways? Okay.
Well, whatever light you have on you is so bright that you actually look like a white man.
Perfect.
Like pale white, Michael Jackson white man.
I'm glad that interruption
not
was totally not
any
racist at all and totally appropriate. Steve, take us away.
Adjust your light is what I'm saying. All right, go ahead.
So, Phantom writes, I recently encountered a game-breaking bug in South Park that starts your game over and lost his save file. Have any of you ever encountered a game-breaking bug? And if you have, what were your reactions when you encountered them? The bug that I experienced was that fucking bug in Metroid Other M, where if you don't go through the door after you beat the boss, you can't ever go through the door behind the boss. And I didn't learn that you could send your SD card to Nintendo until after I had already restarted my game. So I never finished that game.
That's unfortunate. I always used to freak me out, actually.
Wasn't there a similar game-breaking bug in like Twilight Princess or something like that you had
Skyward Sword.
So yeah,
There
you
was-
had this.
Yeah, there was also one in Pokemon X and Y where if you saved in the like main city,
I forgot about that.
to this day I won't save there when I play the game just out of like paranoia. But
Yep.
I never had that bug. Did you have that bug, Minus?
Well, actually, I didn't even get to the city. I was too scared to go into the city, and I stopped playing the game altogether.
Dang!
Okay, I had two that I want to share. One was in The Way Remastered, which was a game that I actually reviewed for Infendo like a week ago-ish. But they've since patched that, so that's not as bad. But I still lost like a half an hour's worth of gameplay, which is nowhere near Phantom's like 15 hours that he lost in South Park. But a similarly tragic story that's less of a bug and more of just a product of the time that the game came out in. Pokemon Yellow was the first Pokemon game I ever beat as a child. I was probably about 8 or 9. And I was going to school, and I got to school when I was in the credits. So I turned the game off in the credits, and I opened it up again after school, and all my Pokemon were dead because the game broke. And you can't turn off those old Pokemon games in the end credits. I lost everything, and I like didn't play Pokemon for like 4 years because it was really sucky. So that was a thing.
The closest I can recall encountering a game-breaking bug was actually very recently when I was playing a game that I still have to finish. The hell is it called? Shadow Man. There in the N64 version, apparently there's a section late in the game, like probably 3/4 of the way through the game, where you have to grab a hold of a ledge and sidle across while these blades are rotating. And in every video I watched on how to get through that, because I was stuck in that place for like 2 hours, in every video I watched was recorded from the Steam PC release. And they just, climbed across. I'm like, why can't I do that? Every time I go to climb across, I'd fall off. Well, apparently there was a glitch where in the N64 version that prevented you from going across that gap like you're supposed to be able to do. I kept on falling into the lava and dying. I eventually had to enter a Game Shark code that allowed levitation and floated across the room. If I didn't have that as an option, I never would have been able to get through there, because literally every time I jumped on it, even if I restarted the game, reloaded the save, nothing I did could get me through there. So that's the only game-breaking bug that I can remember ever encountering.
It's kind of infuriatingly frustrating.
Yeah. I can't really think of any off the top of my head, to be quite honest, except for ones that I've, done to myself by either, hacking my game with like a Game Shark or something like that, right? Or B, like doing an actual glitch in the game, such as like, missing no, that I know is going to break my game, right? So like, I've definitely encountered them, but not only because... At least to my knowledge, I haven't really had it happen to me where like I lost like a crap ton of progress. You know what I mean?
Do we have like an extra minute here? Can I tell the sad story of JoJo? Yes. Okay. There it is. When I was a child, me and my best friend Adam Agrisot used to have chows, and they were like our lives because we were like 12. And we raised these little chows in Sonic Adventure 2 as our own children. Mine was Zach and his was JoJo. One day his memory card corrupted and he lost JoJo after like 200 hours. And a week later, I lost Zach through a similar memory card corruption. And like to this day, like I cannot chow. Like I just like the loss was something that no child should ever have to go through. No child should ever outlive their chow, and especially since reincarnation. And I did, and to this day, like, I miss them so much.
Rest in peace, Zach.
Thank you.
All right. On that sad note, let's take our next question from Corky Dog. Did we decide who was going to take that one, or do you guys want me to take that one? I'll take that one. Corky Dog asks, what has been your favorite Easter egg in a video game, Nintendo or otherwise? I'll start. I don't know that it was my favorite, but I do remember in like the original, obviously the original, in Ocarina of Time, there were, just a bunch of little Easter eggs in it, like just, from being in the Zelda's room and you see like the pictures of Mario, right? Or, like you look at some of the pictures on the wall and they're, of the fisherman or whatever, like all that kind of stuff. So that I really enjoyed that kind of stuff in Ocarina of Time. So that was really cool.
I had forgotten about that stuff.
Yeah, he actually kind of took mine by accident. Mine is exactly the same, actually. The little Ocarina of Time, like, windows that you look through and you can see all the portraits of Nintendo characters. And they kind of screwed it up in the... in
the remake?
Because you get, like little, like, colored warp pipes or something, and that's supposed to be, like, as special, but it's just not. I will say, kind of going off of that, though, the remake did put in a lot of other little Easter eggs that are cool. They're not like Easter eggs to other games, but like they're things that they added to 3D to make it really cool. Like if you go into Malin's room, for example, like you can actually see like drawings on the wall and like on the floor and everything that she's done with like crayon. Like that's cool. I like that like little nice touch that they added. So I guess that's kind of an Easter egg, and it's enough for me.
Of course, the first thing I can think of is the most recent game that I'm playing, Lego City Undercover, which I'm pretty sure they probably removed all of these for the non-Nintendo system versions, but there are a lot of Mario references in that game, just in side quests and hidden things all over the place. But since you guys both went with Zelda, you actually reminded me of my favorite Easter egg is probably Mr. Wright in Link's Awakening, who, for those of you who don't know, is Dr. Wright from SimCity for the Super NES, who himself is based on Will Wright, who created SimCity and The Sims and whatnot. So, kind of a multi-level Easter egg there.
Okay, so I've got one more because that for some reason
I also have one more. So.
Yeah, it kind of popped into my head. Shoot. So in the one Metal Gear game I've ever played, Twin Snakes, there's a
there are tons of them.
Yeah, like after you battle Ninja, remember there is you see like Mario and Yoshi statues and stuff like that.
Bobbleheads, yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. So I don't know, that just reminded me of that. So that's the one that I came to mind.
Yeah, so in Lovers for a Dangerous Space-Time, you play as these little alien dudes, but you can also unlock a character for that you rescue. There's 4 worlds. In the first world, you rescue a little like fox. In the second world, you rescue birds. In the third world, you rescue frogs. And in the fourth world, you rescue rabbits. And after you've gotten 3 or 4 of them, you realize that it's a sly little Easter egg to the Star Fox group. And you can actually play as those 4 different types of animals. And when I realized it, like my brain died a little bit because it was like.
All right, sorry guys, because I'm gonna cut you over again. But that actually reminded me of Majora's.
Never get to go.
Majora's Mask, where 4 of the masks line up.
Oh yeah.
To form the Star Fox team by. The animals they're based on. Steve, Minus, somebody jump in here and interrupt our incessant ramblings.
I was going to say.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I like the new HD Twilight Princess with those added pictures in Hyrule Castle as they're going out.
Oh yeah, Breath of the Wild.
And then the Breath of the Wild photo in the shop. And then I really liked in Link's Awakening when you guys brought that up that. Chomp Chomp that's in there, the other Mario characters that are in there through the side scroll, the 2D side scroll that you go through when you're swimming and all that. That a lot of good stuff.
It was very clear that Link's Awakening was made by a team with no supervision whatsoever. We are going to put what we want in this game, and you can't stop us.
Pretty much. And it worked.
Mine is the hero screen from Donkey Kong Country 2. where I think
yeah.
I think if you go into it, it's got Mario, Yoshi, and then Link in that order on first, second, and third place.
And the pair of blue sneakers next to a trash can off to the side.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, that's probably my favorite one.
Sorry, Lucas.
Where they belong.
It's a Sonic reference.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. It's in like second or third place.
All right, did everybody get a turn?
Yes.
So how many of those were Zelda related? Just out of
seriously, right?
Well, mine had Link in it.
Hey. All right. Why don't we move on to our next question from? Hey, it's you, -64. Take us away, Lucas.
So this guy, I don't know what his deal is, but -64 asks, first video game you bought with your hard-earned allowance money? I didn't have an allowance as a kid, so I didn't buy a game with allowance money. But one of the first games I remember. Okay, so the first video game system, or the first video game thing that I bought with any of my own money, I believe was the Wii. The first video game that I remember actually going into a store like after Christmas, right after we got the GameCube, and being like, I choose this game and this game. Like the first game I had a conscious choice over was Luigi's Mansion and Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2. I picked those two games out like the day after Christmas when we went to the store to like get games for the new GameCube. So that was that.
So for me, it was the Game Boy Color and Link's Awakening DX. So I saved up hard to get that on release day.
I'm waiting for a fire alarm to stop going off on my end, so somebody, then I'll answer.
Fair enough. Go ahead.
Mine is actually, I gotta think it's probably a Game Boy game, because I believe the way that I grew up with my family, my brother and I had our Nintendo and our Super Nintendo we shared, but then with our Game Boys, we had separate systems. And so I think my first one that I paid with my allowance was Final Fantasy Adventure, which is part of the Romancing Saga. But the one that I remember most is actually buying Link's Awakening DX, because my brother got the Link's Awakening, the regular one, and he refused to let me play it. So I was like, screw you, I'm going to save up my allowance from, dusting the house and vacuuming around.
Right.
I'm going to go and I'm going to buy myself one of these. And so I bought it, and he was all jealous because I had that extra level in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's pretty much my answer, actually, but almost to a T. I bought my, it wasn't a brother because I'm an only child, but I remember a cousin getting a Game Boy Color. And no, it wasn't a Game Boy Color. It was a Game Boy Pocket. And it was before the Game Boy Color came out. And then, I saved up all my money. It took me, I think a year, actually, like a full year to get enough money to buy a Game Boy Color and then Link's Awakening DX. I bought those two together. And man, I just had a hell of a time. I remember we went on a trip to Washington, D.C. right after that. So I played that game the whole plane ride there, literally the whole time that we were there, and every subway trip that I was able to actually see, because the Game Boy didn't have any lights, but I would pull it out and play. So yeah, I almost to a T, that's kind of my memory minus.
I'm gonna be honest, it was so freaking long ago I can't even remember. The first thing that came to mind for me is Super Metroid. I remember buying that at Toys R Us, I think. But I don't think I even bought that until after the N64 was out, so that might not even be it. It was probably some NES or Game Boy game that is eluding me at the moment.
Yeah, to kind of go back to that, I basically just got games as presents until I got out of high school, honestly, because I never had a job in high school or anything. I wasn't financially independent until I went to college.
I'm still not.
One of the first memories I have, though, of buying a game of my own volition was getting Mad World for $5 in a bargain bin when I went out with a couple of my friends.
It's a good $5, man.
Well, yeah, because the game's so short that I guess they just. But like I saw it and I was like, I always wanted to play this, but it was M-rated, and I was I was like a high school kid back then, and like I always played games in front of my parents, and I was like, it's really violent. Like, is that like something they won't get behind? But I was like, I'm in college now, I can get what I want. Like, I got like that M-rated game, and I spent my own money on it, and like I loved it. It turned out to be a really good game. So I don't know if that was my first game. It probably wasn't. I'm sure I had money before. But, like, it's one of my earliest memories of buying games, which is kind of sad. I guess I was in college. But, to each their own.
I'm pretty sure my first M-rated game was either a Mortal Kombat game, which 2 of them came out before there was even an ESRB, so it would have... And I never owned 3, so no, it might have been the first Grand Theft Auto. Might have been my first M-rated game that I can remember.
Well, and that's fair, too, because I actually did have M-rated games. Like, I played my dad's Grand Theft Auto. I owned Mortal Kombat as a kid. But, like, that was the first one I remember buying for myself and having, like, that individual freedom to be like, hey, cool, I can get this.
Sure. I know the timer's up, but you guys saying that, like you kind of always had the money to, or like you always got the things as gifts, that kind of, like I never, my mom, she would not buy me video games for gifts. So like I had to do whatever it took, like save my lunch money, like not eat for whatever, like save as much money as I could to get my video games.
The sacrifices we made for gaming as
seriously. Yeah, seriously. The one thing she would do though was every weekend we would go to the video store and I would faithfully run over to the video game section and rent a game like every weekend, like clockwork. So that's actually how I played most of my games.
That's the other thing. Yeah, I remember playing a lot of Nintendo and Super Nintendo games with renting them and renting it for like a week or two, and then get them back.
Yep,
that was me with the N64. Back when Blockbuster was the thing.
Yeah, we had this local video, and again, I know we're going over time, but we had this local video game store that would rent out a video game for a week. For $15, they would charge you, which is kind of expensive, I guess, because $15 in 1990s money.
You could have bought the game for that much.
Yeah.
But we would do it because it was either that or a 2-night rental for $5. So like it was the value proposition, I guess. So we would always do that. I'd take my game for a week and then we'd return it back that next week, or I'd rent it again, or I'd get another game. It was that was I remember those.
And nobody would do that nowadays because in a week somebody would actually be able to finish the game, and no one would ever buy a game.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Let's get on to the last question here. It comes from Dr. Johnny 5, and he asks, Call of Duty on the Switch, yay or nay? And he adds, personally, yay, but honestly, I would be fine if they only put the remastered versions of the older ones on the Switch instead of the current games. I want Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 on Switch with cross-platform play. Also, some Nazi zombies would be awesome. I have never played Call of Duty. I have never cared about Call of Duty. I don't think, personally, I probably would never play them if they were there, but I think that if there is an audience for them, by all means, release them on the Switch. It's not hurting me by having them exist. That said, if they released Call of Duty 1 and 2 on the Switch, I would more than likely end up getting those and playing someday. Because those are the only ones that I have ever wanted to play. And who the hell is pounding on the keyboard over there?
See, I'm with you, Justin. I have no interest whatsoever in Call of Duty. I am also not against Call of Duty on the Switch. Like, the more shit we can get to Switch to get people talking about it and get people play it, great. That's, but I have zero interest in it whatsoever.
It's the same thing, I think, with like FIFA. I have no interest in it, but I'm so glad it's there.
Or Overwatch, or whatever else. Fortnite, what they're talking about bringing to Switch.
For sure.
Bring it on.
I would actually. Yeah, Fortnite probably too. I would actually get Call of Duty on the Switch just for the fact that Heather is actually a huge zombies. She loves the zombies mode. So if they had a mode, like if they brought a game that had zombies, we would probably end up getting 2 copies so then we can play that together. I think that would be, what better way to do that than have 2 Switch consoles? I think that would be a really cool way to play that mode. So I know I would purchase it if it came to the Switch. So
I mean, hell, I'm willing to play a game that my friends are also playing. I probably never would have, played a few of the games that we've all played together if it weren't for the fact that we all played them together. So
sure,
if everybody at Infendo's playing Call of Duty, I probably have to play Call of Duty with you guys.
Sure. Yeah,
We'll
that's
just
why.
while they're playing.
Yeah, right. Well, on that note, I know it's not Call of Duty per se, but there are those rumors, like we've said, of Fortnite coming. There's that Crazy Justice game that's going to be coming to the Switch soon. So we're going to get those types of games. I guess it's just a question of if we get the AAA, like your Battlefields, your Call of Duties, and I think it's important that we do at some point get those types of games on the Switch,
Right.
Yeah, again, Fortnite, I've heard so many good things about, and I think would have a great place on the Switch. But for those, just give me the old Star Wars Battlefront games from the PS2, Xbox era. I'd rather have those over any of them.
Sure.
They could even add online to them if they did a remaster.
Right?
They wouldn't even have to remaster it, really. Just stick
Nah,
online.
I don't care how ugly it is, as long as it's fun.
For sure. Oh, well, there's Luigi. So yeah, let's that's the final question of the question block.
Final question.
Thank you, Justin.
Okay. We are not a choir.
All right, but we are going to take a break here, and we'll be right back with the change the system.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I was updating my Patreon while we were talking about Call of Duty, which is also part of the reason why I didn't talk about Call of Duty. And then I remembered I could mute my mic, so I tried to do that.
Yeah, just all of a sudden, because I had the
I forget
the
how loud
open. Yeah, I had the show notes open, so I couldn't see any of the video. All I could just all of a sudden, my sense, bam, 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 bam. I'm like, I can't think.
I didn't get to talk about it mostly because I wasn't really interested enough to talk about it. But my 2 cents on Call of Duty is I liked it in college, but that was mostly because I had friends that played it. I probably wouldn't get it unless you guys all did. So
right, yeah, I have zero interest in Call of Duty, so it would really only be for the multiplayer aspect. But again, I've heard so many good things about Modern Warfare 1 and 2 that I would like to. They're on my bucket list.
Play the first one for sure. It's good. The single player,
Modern Warfare 2 is actually really solid too.
You know what?
I really liked it.
Actually, if they brought Modern Warfare 2 and let there be online and everything like that, I would totally get that, and I would hope you guys would get it too, because the Spec Ops co-op mode was a blast.
Well, and if they would add, if I remember right, was the Nazi zombie stuff, or
that was usually usually Treyarch. So yeah, World at War was the first one.
But was it
basically the World War II based ones?
But were they usually online or were they usually local?
Mm-hmm.
Because if they were,
okay.
If they were, because back when I used to play, I always played local.
Yeah,
so I never had to play those.
Left 4 Dead.
That would be awesome.
We forgot to talk about Left 4 Dead. God, if
never really cared much
I
about
would play the shit out of Left 4 Dead on the
playing
Switch.
it once, but it was local and it was only 2 players, so it wasn't nearly as fun as the full Left 4 Dead multiplayer experience.
A lot of fun. That is the one multiplayer game that's a shooter that I really, really like.
I like my zombie survival games to be a lot less zombie and a lot more survival, and I haven't really found a good one yet. I want
that.
Well,
you have to rely on each other to survive.
Yeah, but Left 4 Dead is more of a, I don't want to say arcade, but it's goal oriented, I want a nice open world zombie game where I just I go out and I Breath of the Wild style it basically. I'm setting up camp here for the night. Hope I don't get eaten,
Red Dead Redemption expansion pass.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Whatever it was called.
There's actually a GTA 5.
Nightmare.
Yes.
There's actually a GTA 5 mod that adds in like zombie stuff that's actually pretty cool too. So.
All right, I know we're having good conversation here, but I'm going to reel us back into change the system. Does anybody need to take a break before we do that?
Wait.
Yep.
I cannot wait to make an emoji out of that.
Please tell me somebody copied it.
No, I mean it's on YouTube, so I just got to hit print screen at some point. So, all right, guys.
Good luck getting Valve to make anything.
Right? Not wrong, Phantom. All right, so let's bring it back in to change the system, and we're back. The time is here to talk about the games we've been playing. I haven't really been playing too much. I have been playing, games again, so I do have a change of system to talk about. But why don't we start with you, Minus, since you are our guest. What have you been playing this week and otherwise?
I knew you were going to come to me first with that. So for me personally, what I've been getting through lately have been some backlogs on 3DS games. I took a break from my Switch just because I have so many 3DS games to get through. And what I just finished recently was Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology, which I thoroughly enjoyed. It is a role-playing, like Final Fantasy style RPG, but the unique twists of it all is that you can go through different avenues of how you play it and go back and change, and things affect what you do and different things. And
that game sounds right up my alley.
Just like how they say with it being like a Historia with a chronology, and the way you do one timeline can change with another timeline and vice versa. And you really have to focus on the lore, what's going on, character development in this, because it really affects the way that you play and how you play with it. In the end, it'll get you back into the timeline if you go off, but it was a real exciting game. The characters were really amazing, and they had a lot of emotion and thought behind them. The writing was great. The other thing that I really liked is that it all had voice acting for all the main characters. So that was really nice because that really gave development for me personally, instead of like the sounds or whatever you make up in your head when you're reading the dialogue.
Sure.
They had their own tone, their own aggression, and so forth with that. So I finished that one, and then I moved right into another Atlas game, Alliance Alive. So again, a very similar style. This one was more open world, where you actually do go around the world, as opposed to Radiant Historia that you go from node to node to node, kind of like Kirby's, the new Kirby game. But again, similar aspects, Final Fantasy style role-playing RPG. That's like right up my alley. So that's and it's in that medieval time where it's like almost like Alliance Alive is more of like a steampunk type of medieval, while Radiant Historia was more like actual medieval castles with fortresses and armies and men and all that magic and things like that. So those are the two that I have been playing.
I have a couple questions for you about those. So number one, how many hours did you put into each one?
Radiant Historia, I think I'm 60, 70 hours. And I did not 100% it.
Okay. That's the question. That's the answer I needed. It's like, do I have time to sink this many hours into a game? Number two, stereoscopic 3D or no?
Honestly, I don't use it if it's available, so I can't. I could run over and check the boxes if you want.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, I'm an RPG guy. I don't get to play as many of them as I'd like, but those ones are definitely ones that are kind of on my list of things to look at. But man, I just don't know that I have 80 plus hours, especially with Dark Souls right around the corner.
Go ahead, Manus.
The other nice thing that I liked with it too was that they still had their day one packages out, early expansions, whatever type of thing. So it came with like a CD, some pins, an art booklet, all that stuff, still for that same $40 price. And since I have Best Buy Gamers Club, it was really like $31. So I really think that it was way worth it for everything that I got with it.
It's actually kind of, that's pretty cool actually. And you said that like just the standard version of the game comes with all that fun stuff, huh?
Yeah. That's what was out when I got it. So, which was
Interesting.
within the last month or so.
Cool. Well, that's fun. I don't know that. And again, I actually have. Well, you'll hear in my change of system, but I've charged my 3DS and I've been playing it. So that's we'll see. We'll see. There, minus.
Well,
Anything
I
else?
will add too that I did pick up like this back from my 2DS XL.
Oh, awesome! Yeah.
Dude,
That is extremely comfortable. It has a little kickstand on it, and it's great. And it was only like 10, 15 bucks on Amazon, and it really helps with like holding it for long periods of time.
Yeah. I remember the last game I put some significant. I think it was Metroid 2 actually that I put significant time into. I remember that there was like some really
some cramping.
For
Yeah,
sure.
it really helps. It's nice and rounded. It fits my hands really well. So
Awesome. Cool. Well, does anybody else want to jump in? What all y'all been playing this week?
You were already kind of segueing into your own change the system anyway. Why don't you?
Yeah, go for it, Eugene.
Sure, I'll take it. So yeah, so I have been playing games this week, and it's been pretty much all Pokemon all the time, guys. I've been playing Pokemon Go with the girlfriend, and we went Poke hunting. We went on a raid battle. Fucking Latios is a bitch. But it's okay. Yeah, we've been having a good time. But kind of like almost back into the full swing of it, like when it first came out. So that's been interesting. One thing of note is the reason why I'm back into it. Aside from Heather playing, is that I got one of those gotcha devices, and hell, man, I love it. And let me tell you why. We can be walking down the road. There's this like neighborhood that we walk down that has just a million Pokestops. But I can, pick the Pokemon that I want to battle or whatever, and still in the background it's catching, other Pokemon and doing the Pokestops. So, like, I don't have to put... it's going to sound bad. I don't have to put as much effort into it. But, yeah, I love it. It's great.
I wish I had that thing when I went to New York City a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I could have actually accomplished something in that game.
For sure.
Especially since I went to the Nintendo store.
Yeah. So, aside from that, I had to buy another copy of it because since we have been playing Pokemon Go, I decided to try it to get Heather into Pokemon proper. And so she's got Ultra Sun, I've got Ultra Moon, and
nice.
we're just going to kind of see what happens. I have to say so far... So far, it's been kind of slow going for her to get into it, but she's giving it a whirl. I even gave her the XL because I'm a gentleman, so she's got the right version. We'll see what happens. I'll have more to report next week. But
how far into it are you guys?
Literally, we got it and put it on like over the weekend, so like 5 hours in, like we're not much. We both done the first trial thing or whatever, so that's about it.
Okay, cool.
Question on that device. So what happens when you run out of Pokeballs?
Same thing. It still has to use the regular Pokeballs. It acts as a Pokemon Go Plus. It functions the same way, except for there's a second app that you can download to your phone, which will basically let you, say, okay, I want to prioritize like this type of catching, right? Like I'd rather catch than spin the Pokestop. Or within the app, you can tell it to, okay, I don't want to spin any Pokestops. I only want to catch Pokemon. Or within the app, you can say, okay, I want to catch Pokemon, but I don't want you to catch Pokemon that I don't already have. So then, it doesn't accidentally throw the ball, and then you don't get an opportunity to catch it. So it functions very similar to the Pokemon Go Plus, but it's like super advanced. Like you can do a lot of different stuff. So I can I would recommend it for sure.
It's automated too. It doesn't require you to push a button.
Well, you can choose within the app. So like I have it set right now where it will automatically do the Pokestops, but I have to actually push the button on the device to actually catch the Pokemon, if that makes sense. So then I don't miss any of the Gen 2 or 3 Pokemon that I haven't caught yet. So Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. It's cool. It's great. Like I said, it gives you a lot of different a lot of functionality that you just otherwise wouldn't have. So I enjoy it. All right, that's pretty much it for me though. Does anybody want to jump in from there?
I'll go next. Kind of segueing off the Pokemon thing, I have picked up Pokemon again. I've been working on a team that Lucas and I are going to battle on Friday night. He thinks he's going to kick my ass. He's probably right. He usually does.
You're so bad at crap talk.
I haven't beat you yet.
You have?
In a legit battle. I beat you once when my Pokemon were at a high level and yours weren't. But yeah, so I've developed a really cool team. They did pretty well online, so I'm excited to see what they can do against Lucas's team. I picked up Shantae again. The last time I played that was right after the costume DLC came out, and I was working through the police officer one. My God, that dialogue is awful. Like, I don't even read the dialogue anymore. It's like skip scene, keep going. The DLC though itself is really good. I mentioned it before, but it's basically Shantae meets Switch Force, which is a really cool mechanic. The level I was stuck in, for those of you that played Shantae, the level where you have the worm chasing you up the tower. I got hardcore stuck on that because I was trying to get everything in the level and beat the level at the same time. And I finally figured out it's next to impossible to get everything in the level on your first playthrough. So I found a cheap way around it. You can get one of the collectibles and then immediately save your game by warping to a different level and then refilling your health and your, recharge your weapon and everything. And then you go back and play through till you get the next one. And I kept doing that till I eventually beat the level, and I was finally able to get through it. That's the first level, though, that's been hard enough to where I've actually had to do that. I've also realized that I found a level I hate more than Mermaid Falls, as far as searching the hidden items out, and it's the goddamn haunted house. That level is awful. I'm one collectible away from finishing the level. I have full health, full charge on my gun. I probably should go back and save it, but I'm so close to beating it. I just want to get the one collectible and get out of there.
Sure.
I played a little bit of Doom. I do not like the motion controls on Doom.
That's disappointing.
You would have to really fine-tune the sensitivity on that, and I'm not sure it has the option that lets you do that. But it's not... Splatoon's motion controls are very loose, in a manner of speaking. Like, you barely move your controller.
I was waiting for that.
You barely move your controller, and it, shoots your camera down. I actually like that motion control. I don't like to move my controller a whole lot. With Doom's motion controls, it's almost 1-to-1. So if you're holding your Switch like this, if you want to look straight up, you literally have to move your Switch straight up like that to get it to go. And
I find that, like you said, it works best when you can just kind of flick your motion, right? And then it
Right. So I didn't enjoy that. I need to see if I can fine tune that a little bit more. And then the other one I've been playing, I picked out my Splatfest tee for this weekend. We didn't talk about it in the news, but we are getting 3 Splatfests this month. They're doing a Ninja Turtles Battle Royale, basically. So this week's Splatfest is Leonardo versus Raphael. Of course, I went Team Leonardo.
Wrong.
Yeah. So I'll see you on the battlefield, sir.
Wrong.
Next week, of course, will be Michelangelo versus Donatello. So
how can you pick between those two?
What?
Said, how can you pick between those two?
Yeah, I know neither of them are Leo, so who gives a crap, right?
It's easily. It's Michelangelo. He's the fun one. So that's next week's Splatfest, and then the week after that will be the winner from each of these 2 Splatfests.
Nice.
So I picked out my Leo shirt, then I had an anxiety attack, so I ended up not even really playing the game that night. So I'll get back to
They're
that.
lying to us. Whichever one wins the Splatfest gets killed off in the new series.
Oh God.
It's made for 12-year-olds.
I don't care. 12-year-olds need to learn about pain and loss.
Not all cuddles and kittens out there, huh?
They need to go back to the old '90s Ninja Turtle movies with the Jim Henson
With the
suits
puppets.
Or
I'd
what
be down,
about
quite honestly.
Yeah.
what about the old '80s '90s Transformer movie where freaking
Yeah, there you
people are
go.
dying and they're saying shit and all kinds of fun stuff.
As a fan of practical effects, I have like I'm a huge proponent of practical effects. I have to say, those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies were some of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
I enjoyed them. Vanilla Ice and all, motherfucker.
They're so much better than CGI.
All right. Let's move on to our next person. Who wants to go next? Which one of you heroes in a half shell are gonna tell us what you've been playing?
Turtle power.
Sure, why not? I wish I could segue into playing Ninja Turtles, but that's actually one of the games that I added to my Super NES Classic that I haven't been playing. I have been playing it a lot lately. I've mostly been bouncing between Donkey Kong Country, 7-Up Spot, which is a fun little puzzle board game thing, and Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh God, why?
What?
Because I love
Don't
Where
rip
in the World is Carmen
on
Sandiego.
it. Don't rip on that. That was like my childhood that you're starting to tear into.
No, I mean I get it.
And now I'm finally smart enough to actually
The
progress
board
in them. So
I mean, is it any good these many years later?
well, I mean, some of the geography is a little out of date, but and Europe is still using all their own currencies because it was the '90s. So, but yeah, I mean, as I've learned things from it that I didn't know before about geography, and I've been able to apply things that I've learned since playing the game on in middle school. But I had it and it's there, and I determined to someday in my life actually capture Carmen Sandiego. So I've made it my goal.
God, I not to cut you off, but I just remember playing. Like, I had a choice between playing that game in, like, 3rd grade on the Apple II and, like, Cross Country USA.
Oh, you didn't have Oregon Trail or Number Munchers?
Oh, that was on... Dude, that was on the older Apple computer, the black and white motherfucker, man. I'm talking about the Apple II.
We had Number Munchers on our Macintosh, even.
Yeah, I get that.
Anyway, so yeah, I've been playing random stuff in my Super NES Classic. I beat the story mode of Lego City Undercover for the second time. Again, as I've mentioned many times before, I played it on the Wii U when it was new. But I really, really wanted to have that open world in a semi-portable form. So I got it when it was on sale a couple weeks ago and blew through the story mode just for the sake of getting that out of the way, having all the costumes unlocked, and now I'm just going through, all of the tons of side quests around the city, which is really where I wasted so many hours in that game originally. So I'm looking forward to wasting more on it now. I only get about an hour or two of gameplay time a night, so really that's been, I played a little bit of Breath of the Wild, played some I apologize to whoever provided me the code for Load Runner. I actually didn't play very much of it at all this week, but still enjoying it, but it just hasn't been on top of my list. Yeah, that's pretty much pretty much it. Lego City Undercover, various stuff in my Super NES Classic, edutainment games that are apparently the bane of Eugene's existence, and
but like that just blows my mind. Like you went back to Carmen San Diego. Like what's next?
I mean, I put it on there mostly because I figured, the Super NES Classic would be for, for the kids to play, and I've got a second grader, going to be a third grader next year, so he could probably, get something out of that. But then I started playing it just for old time's sake and got hooked on it again. So, and it's,
sure,
and it's funny because. Like I said, there are only like maybe, I don't know, a couple dozen different places that you can actually travel to. So eventually you'll get a clue and be like, oh, I know exactly where I have to go from this one clue, and I already have my warrant. So I'll just kind of bounce around the globe until I get to the end of it. I haven't failed once yet because of that, but
sure. Well, fair enough. Yeah, I just like I keep coming back to it. You're keeping me in the 90s, man. I'm thinking of all these old Super Solvers games and everything like that. Like, do you remember Gizmos and Gadgets and like all that shit, like Treasure Mountain?
I've never heard of Super Solvers. I was actually just about to say mentioned that in the chat. I've never heard of that one.
It was such a good game. Oh my god.
Oh, did you play those, Minus? No shit.
Yes, I did.
Oh man, Treasure Mountain, Outnumbered, man. I had like all of those motherfucking games, man.
I'm still trying in elementary school, man.
I'm
right?
Trying to find a good version of Number Munchers.
Math Blasters, Number Munchers, all those games. I'm like looking them up right now and like having so many feels.
Right? All right. Well, who wants to talk about what games they've been playing? Maybe games that are not from the 90s.
I think there's only one person left, isn't there?
I don't know. That's why I just keep saying who wants to go next.
I think I'm the only one left. So while we were doing this, I've been playing Breath of the Wild since I finished Hue Adventuring for the night while I'm doing a podcast because I'm a terrible human being. And I randomly just stumbled across a memory. And it happens to be the hardest memory in the game for me to find. The one where she's talking about the silent princess and how the flower can only grow in the wild. And I'm like, that's the most obvious metaphor I've ever seen for like a character's development. But okay, we'll go with it. I've been playing Breath of the Wild again for a while. My Korok count is up to 565 at the moment, with a few scattered around the map that I have been unable to figure out, but that I know their location because of the mask and will eventually solve. I don't know how much longer I'm going to go before I break down and start using a guide. So far, these are all natural homegrown Koroks, but I'm losing my patience for hunting these things down. So much so that a while ago, I made a bunch of rules for how I can play the game as each specific link. And like, I'll dress up as a Link and I'll be like, well, Ocarina of Time Link can't fly, but he used to ride a horse, so I can ride horses as this Link. And like, that's how I'll spend like 40 hours while I'm Korok hunting. So that's a thing. I also went over to a friend's house on Sunday, and after about like an hour of trying to figure out what to play, we finally settled on Skyward Sword. Which I know I bounce back and forth, but it is definitely my favorite Zelda. I've reaffirmed that for myself. We started off right after the traditional Zelda trilogy of beginner stuff, which in that case was getting the map and, having access to the entire world. So we started at the kind of Indian, East Asian style temple with Colossus, the big six-armed thing. Oh god, it was so much fun.
I was gonna say I think that's maybe my favorite dungeon in that game.
It might be my favorite like Zelda dungeon. Period. Like it's really cool. And they have like the whole zombie scene and everything. Then after that, we were like, okay.
My favorite one was the pirate ship one.
Well, after we did that, we were like, okay, let's go to the Fire World, and we forgot. Oh wait, this game goes out of order for the second part. We're going to the desert, and we get to do pirate shit. So, like, I get up on the mast, and I'm about to fight whatever his name is, Skirvo, the pirate mini boss, and like I start fighting. I'm like, this is easy. I got this, and I like kick his butt. And then he comes back, and I'm like, oh, I still got this, and I kick his butt again. Then I get humbled beyond belief and make it to about a half a heart before I kill the guy. So I love Skyward Sword so much. I love the story. I love the gameplay. I love everything about that game. So
how perfect would that be with a Joy-Con in your hand?
Oh, I know. I'm really hoping that we get a like an HD version, or even just a straight port at this point.
Yeah.
But no, I forgot too, because I haven't really done this since college, how much fun it is to play a game and have your friends sitting next to you, commenting on the entire game with you. Like that was so much fun. So
that's how I played through most N64 games back in the day. My friend and I would just switch off on games. I'd play a game for one night, and then I'd sit and watch him play a different game for another night.
Sure. Well, the next game I played has been a much more solitary experience so far, but maybe Phantom will play with me sometime. I downloaded Naruto because those fighting games came out a little while back. And these are old games. These go from 2009 to 2013. But it wasn't until I sat down and I started playing them that I realized, yeah, as a kid, this was probably like my anime of choice. Like, I know all these characters. Like, when I played Dragon Ball Z, I didn't know what the hell was going on. But Naruto, I got this.
I don't think watching the show helps with that, honestly.
But I'm really enjoying it. It's everything that I remembered a good Naruto fighter to be. I was a little confused at first because there's only like one attack button, but the inputs and combinations that you do like really vary it up. So happy with that. The last big game that I played was one that I actually played 2 weeks ago, but I totally forgot to talk about it for whatever reason. Etrian Odyssey 5. Which is like, if you know me, my RPG of choice. Like, praise God, this game exists. Like every other Etrian Odyssey, that's not an Untold, which they've only made 2 of that I'm aware of. There's no characters, pre-made characters, and everything like that, like an extra plot. There is a plot, but you make the characters yourself, which has always been a big draw for me. This time, though, they have like different races and then subclasses. And once you make a character, like in some of the newer games, you can change the subclass to whatever you want. So really, you can look and play however you want for like each of your 5 characters. And for the first time, they added hair color, eye color, and skin color alteration. So you can actually like totally customize your character. And I spent like a good 2 hours doing that because I'm really persnickety about how my characters look in games. And they have voice acting for like when your character gets a kill and stuff. But I kept it off because I need to hear the characters' voices in my head. So I opted out of that feature, but it's there if you want it. And it's just more Etrian Odyssey goodness. I love it so much. I love every Etrian Odyssey game. In my opinion, it's like the most underrated RPG series. I think because it's a lot more like old-fashioned, it turns some people off.
Yeah.
Nowadays, when you play like an RPG, you want it to be like Xenoblade levels of like, here's a story and characters and character development. And it's like, no, that stuff like is here for me. That's what I like with RPGs. But
the tough thing for Etrian Odyssey for me is the roguelike element of it. Like it's really it's unforgiving.
Oh, it's incredibly unforgiving. There usually is like a beginner mode that's more forgiving, but for the sake of my own pride, I always play on like normal or whatever. And when you die once, like you lose all of your progress on your last save. So like, and the way I play is I usually start with only like 1 or 2 characters, and then I slowly add to my party as I go instead of like starting with a full team.
Sure.
So it's like I spent the first like 4 hours in that game just grinding through the first level of the dungeon. Because I'm like, no, these 2 characters are friends, and they're going in together, and they're not going to meet this guy until after they clear the first level. It's like, that's the plot. That's how this is going down in my head.
So passionate.
Like, I love these games because, like, for me at least, it's a chance to like tell a story, and I don't know how the story is going to unfold fully because there is a plot in the game, but like I develop the characters in my head as I go, and it's that like perfect mix of like game design and like game playing that just makes it cathartic and like wonderful for me. So it's my ideal RPG. And if there's more out there like it and you're listening to this show, suggest them to me, because I really like those kinds of RPGs and they are so hard to find. But yeah, now that I've slobbered all over that game, I think I'm mostly done.
Slobbered all over it. That sounds...
Oh, Pokemon. I'm having a Pokemon battle with Steve on Friday. Gonna try to shaky cam record it and get some footage on YouTube, because I haven't recorded gameplay in like 3 months because life is busy. So we'll try to do that and at least have some footage of Steve kicking my ass, or hopefully vice versa.
See, we just reverse trash talk. That's how this works.
Right?
Well,
Shit.
No, you're gonna kick my ass. Please, I couldn't hit your ass with a 10-foot pole. You're gonna wipe me away.
This is how Canadians trash talk.
Sorry to all of our Canadian listeners. Infendo does not support the views of Justin.
Infendo Justin.
Please, they own this.
All right. We have made it to the end, folks. There are no more systems to change. There are no more question blocks to hit. We've done it all, and I'm the Nintendo's winner, which is most important of all. So we are all going to have a wonderful evening tonight. But before we go, you can follow us and do all kinds of fun stuff. We're doing all kinds of new and exciting things. I guess the main place you should probably go to is infendo.com at this point. You can get links to all of our places from there. You can look at our Discord channel. Even if you don't want to join, just click on it and you can, see what the people are saying these days. You can join our Discord channel from there. You can also go to our merch shop and buy a mug, maybe a sticker, maybe a nice long sleeve shirt. Yeah, go check us out from there. Also, you can join our YouTube channel. You can, check us out what we're doing there. Mainly, it's just the Infendo playlist, but I'm getting my capture card back soon. Hopefully we'll get some Infendo plays up. Steve has gotten some capture card footage that he's been doing, so, you never know. Go subscribe to us over there. And finally, you can find our podcast, which you're listening to right now, on that page. But if you haven't already subscribed to it, please do so. Write us a review even. We'd really appreciate that. And, yeah.
If you're listening to us on YouTube, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel, because that helps us out a lot in gaining exposure on YouTube.
Please, we would really appreciate that. So with that, you can find me on Twitter at InfendoEugene. Of course, you can find everything Infendo is doing at Infendo. Where can the people find you, Justin?
I am on Twitter at InfendoJustin. You can find all my gaming information there if you want to send me a friend request. And hopefully in the next week or so, I will have a new post up on my Disney-related blog. You can follow that on Twitter at Utilidork, UTILIDORK. And also go directly to the blog at utilidork.com.
Very nice. All right. Where are you utilidorking, Steve?
You can find me at Gentis1 on Twitter. And hopefully, I know I've been saying this for like 2 weeks, I'll be posting some videos to my YouTube channel, which is on my pinned tweet.
Very nice. And lately you've been running the Nintendo Fever Twitter, so definitely check that out as well.
Yes, at Nintendo Fever.
Awesome. Where can we find you this week, Lucas?
You said it normal. That makes me so happy. My Twitter is currently at Chromatic Hue. If you can't spell it, don't worry about it. You don't have to visit me on Twitter. And my Patreon just got an update like as of an hour ago, which is why I was clicking away on the keyboard, frustrating my coworkers. And I actually wrote on the Patreon post, I'm posting this while I'm doing Infendo Radio. Please don't tell my co-host. But that's the thing. So if you would like to check out my game, Hue Adventure, I have a free version and a $5 patron version. Check that out. That'd be awesome. I finally learned the secret to working hard with a full-time job. So with any luck, next month will be the month where I hit my halfway mark on this game, which will be really exciting for me. I'm close. I want to do it. I know exactly how the halfway point is going to go. It's going to be a big old halfway through the game boss battle. Lots of character development, narration, and growth. Things are going to happen. So that's a thing I'm really excited for. So with any luck, I won't be eating crow in a month.
Nice. And finally, last but not least, our special guest today. Where can we find you, Minus?
You can find me on Twitter at minus64, MYNUS64. You can also find me in the Discord chat as one of the moderators there. We have a lively bunch of group of individuals that like to talk about all sorts of interesting things. Mostly
that's for sure.
But we have a good old time in there. Yeah, that's my stuff.
Very nice. All right. Well, that has been a show, guys. We made it to the end. We will be back next week. But until then, peace out, guys. We'll catch you later on. Thanks for joining us.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Whenever you happen to be listening to this, I don't know. Whatever.
Right?
Good morning, good evening, and good night.
Yeah, that
I was waiting for you to say that, Justin. That's usually your thing.
I was waiting too.
I was going to, but then I didn't feel like it. And if anybody's still listening now, I'm still not going to say it. Bye.
All right.
This is Justin saying good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And you can't prove that it's not me, Justin Kloch. So, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Apparently, my voice has gotten considerably higher, and I'm also Jewish.
Now we've insulted all
spit.
races tonight.
That spit
Good
came
time.
through.
God.
Actually, it is a Scottish name. I guess they tend to use a few guttural sounds too. So
You?
All right, before we
We're not live.
no, we are, but before we insult another group,
Oh, I
goodbye
know.
everybody. See you later.